Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Construct It. Today we are here in East Vancouver at a home. It's a mixed-use home. It's a duplex with a legal basement suite, and then it's got a laneway or a coach home at the rear with a garage under it. This home is actually being built a little bit differently than our conventional homes. They are using a steel product here used through LifeTech Construction Group. We have Mr. Sukhman and Richard here from LifeTech Construction Group who will be taking us through the walkthrough of this home. Welcome Sukh and welcome Richard.
Hi, my name is Sukhman from LifeTech Construction Group. I'm the Business Development Manager. This house we have here is a prefabricated wall and truss system built by Richard Hazel, who's also from LifeTech.
Welcome, Richard.
Yes, hi, I'm Richard Hazel. I'm the supervisor, GC, and owner of this development. It's a character retention with a wood house right here, which is just standard construction, and then we've attached to a small portion at the back using the LifeTech, and I'm responsible for LifeTech Residential, which are small to medium-sized projects similar to this one.
Excellent, Richard. And was I correct when I said this is a duplex? It's got a heritage home section to it. It's got your other second duplex, and then it does have a legal suite in it.
That's right. Well, correct. So the city of Vancouver is allowing character retention. If you keep the house that's here and it's a certain age and it meets some requirements, the city allows you to turn it into a duplex.
Okay.
And then they allow you to put an infill in the back also.
Okay.
That will house a 2-car garage.
Okay.
And they allow you to strata the whole thing then. So that's the carrot.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And then again, this is a mixed system, so there is wood frame components along with a mix of some steel framing components. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're correct. It's a very complex build actually. There's not just the CFS from LifeTech framing system. There's structural HSS steel and structural steel I-beams. And there's PSLs running throughout the system as well for different reasons I can get into. And then it is capped off with a wood hand-framed gabled roof.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on.
Well, let's follow you inside and you can give us a tour of this beautiful place and let us know what's going on.
Sounds good.
So we're standing at the entry porch of this home here, and Richard is going to let us know what's going on. We'll go through the exterior and we'll do a walkthrough of the inside and take a look at the decks. There is a rooftop deck on this home also, so we'll go up there and take a look. But right now, Richard, can you let me know what we have going on here outside?
Sure. So we call this the steel house, and this is the character wood house.
Okay. Right
here we are insulating this house entirely on the outside. So we're using this product called Energy Shield, which is a foil-faced rigid polyiso board. It's 3.5 inches deep, and then it's strapped with 1x4s with a very long screw back to the studs. This will reach approximately R25 effective, which is in Vancouver we actually need to hit R22 effective, but in this case we get to, with the extra using 3.5, that's the number we get to, and it's the best way to insulate a building. Is through the outside, all connected together and taped. So you can't see it from here, but underneath that polyiso is sheathing, just 1/2-inch sheathing.
Okay.
And so we start with that basis. The window, then it's Tyvek'd, and the windows are put on as typical. Okay. We buck the window frames in wood, so that the windows are put on, to a wood frame. Okay. And then we tie it all together with Tyvek as you normally would do. Okay. And then, so that's the weather resistive barrier, the WRB. Okay. It's taped to become the air barrier as well. Okay. And then we put the polyiso on top of that, and that is the vapor barrier. Okay. And that's taped.
And that's all continuous pretty much, like we would have a conventional system.
The whole system.
But it's done on the exterior versus the interior.
Exactly. So when we go inside, you'll see that the interior is empty cavity. Okay. Because with steel framing, you lose about 50% of the R value when you put bat in. Okay. In the commercial world, they actually don't ever put bat in the steel cavity. They always put it on the outside. Okay. So that allows us also to have that be a condition conditioned space, and we can run water in that outside wall as well. So it's quite interesting.
Excellent. And if the cameraman can just zoom in behind Richard, conventionally when we'd be out, we would see the rain screen system we see here on top of the Tyvek home wrap. You have your vertical strapping running, and you have your details around your windows and all your penetrations. And then as you just saw, here is what you'll see with what we'll see in the future. Looks like it's going to become the trend, possibly with the step code changes coming and aiming for a net zero by 2032. A lot of people will be using these new systems and, you know, tampering and playing to see which is the right system for them, I guess.
Sure. And with any kind of building science, putting the insulation on the outside, the more you put on the outside, the better the solution is from a building science perspective.
All right.
You can just look up here, you can see that this is an outside overhead deck that is sloped from the house out, and you can see that we've actually sloped the web joists.
So we're standing inside a bedroom here, Richard, and a lot of this is new to me. The system is new to me. Can you tell me what we're looking at here?
Sure. So like I mentioned just now, this is the inside, this is an exterior wall.
Okay.
And there's no insulation in here, and it is considered conditioned space.
Okay.
This is the structural steel member that's going from the the foundation all the way up that we're integrating into. We Hilti these panels to this steel to secure it. And then down in the bottom right hand corner you can see this is a hold down that's part of the seismic system for the shear wall. And it's just a hold down boot that we connect right down to the concrete and screw it to the panel. And you can see all the service holes are all pre-cut here out of the machine. And we can run electrical through here, no problem.
Plumbing, electrical,
Yeah.
pretty much anything that needs to run through can be run through the prefabricated holes, or there's punch outs or something, I guess.
That's right. And in this case,
knockouts.
you can see all the buildup here. This is quite extensive buildup, but there's service holes that are exactly the same height on all of them, so they just run it right through there and come out
Okay.
here.
So the conduit wire goes in one side, out the other, very easily, very easy to work with.
Yeah.
You won't be drilling as many holes.
You can run around here. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, excellent. And then we can take a look at the window installation here also.
Yeah, this is the designer, who was also my wife, didn't make this easy, so she wanted the windows to be right to the ceiling.
Okay.
So that's why we've furred out the joist so that when the drywall comes in, it hits the frame perfectly. Otherwise, you wouldn't really need that there.
And anything, I guess, since the insulation's on the outside, we won't have any issues. Just looking behind you, we don't need any separation between the steel and the wood, the dissimilar materials, because it's already...
No, that's no big deal at all. I mean, you can actually come in and see the screws from the outside, how they're connected into these studs.
Okay.
They just need to be into the stud for like 3 or 4 screw lengths. This one's a little bit longer.
Okay.
And yeah, this is these are internal walls. So there's structural walls that LifeTech builds and non-structural walls. So load bearing and non-load bearing. Okay, so
they just submit the plans to you, I presume, the client, the builder, or the homeowner. You guys will do some sort of mock-up on your system, provide them pricing, provide them the components they will require and need, and pretty much will build up the system for them. Am I correct, guys?
Yeah, so what we do is we take your plans come into us, we overlay them in our software, we design your house with our model, and then we present that back to you. We create shop drawings like you would see with truss packages. We would create our shop drawings, we hand it over to you for checking out with your plan. Your architect would look at them, your engineer would look at them, they would sign off on them, we'd get them back, and then we put them straight into production, and the turnaround is very, very fast, within a couple days.
Excellent. How about pricing these days? Lumber prices have gone up. Is it getting close? I know there's cost savings, like time. You know, you're going to assemble this quicker than you're going to come out and do conventional framing. Yes. And then obviously with lumber prices being so high, are you guys kind of coming nearer and close in regards to pricing, or?
Yes, actually it's very, very competitive now with our product. What's happening is that with our steel pricing, that we are coming in at about the same price as lumber or less. Right now we are coming in, a lot of the jobs we're quoting for our multifamily rental buildings, we are cheaper than wood, along with our TGI packages that we offer in steel are cheaper than wood TGIs and trusses. The price difference last year was a little bit different. We were a little bit more higher by more than $5 to $10 a square foot. Now we're coming in right around the same, or about, in some cases, $3 to $4 cheaper a square foot. But in the more complex builds, it's about $1 or $2 more. But you're getting a far more superior product than you would with wood frame. You get a non-combustible rating, your insurance rates are cheaper, your product goes up faster, and you don't have no issues with pricing. Once you lock into a job with us, that price is fixed for the whole term. It does not matter if your project starts in 1 month or 3 months or 6 months. Once we fix your price, that's the price for your whole project. Even if you pre-sell, when you have your pre-sales done and you're worried about building your job a year later and then the lumber prices rise up and then you're at a loss because you've already pre-sold this product, you will not have that issue with LifeTech.
And another question I'll have, and I know our viewers will have for you also, framers. Conventional framers can be used, Richard. Are you using your conventional framer, or was a special framer called in to come and put this system together?
Well, it was the skill set of the LifeTech factory folks, and in conjunction with framers that were skilled in traditional wood framing. They totally got the concept right out of the gate, and so they've actually helped a lot with the back house, which we can take a look at. It's built with slightly different technology in terms of the joists. But traditional framers can handle this stuff, no problem.
Well, let's take a walk through here. Let's go up to the upper floor. Let's take a look at the deck. I just want to see how things are put together.
Sure.
Take a look at some of the service walls and see the penetrations running through. I see we have a bathroom over here, and we have some pipes already running through. So most of these could have been just already pre-punched holes, and some may have been cut open, I guess, to allow.
Exactly. They'll use the pre-punched holes when they can, but they might need more. Might need to put the pipe in a different location, in which case they'll manage getting a hole in there. But as you can see, with the water feeds is just standard. They use Mickey Mouse ears to keep the water pipes away from the edge of the holes. That's just standard steel frame construction, which is in every large condo.
And when they are, punching holes out, is there any certain diameter or anything they should be looking out for? They obviously shouldn't be putting extra large holes or multiple penetrations, or?
Well, it's very similar to wood construction in that case. They can go through the plates. In this case, actually, I'll show you a double plate. So if you look over here, you'll see that there's a double plate that's strapped up there. So that's like considered to be as if it was a wood double plate. But again, we are using different technology in the back house, and you'll see how we don't have to do that anymore. But you can go up those plates and you can go through the nogs, what we call the nogs right here. They also have service holes.
So now we're on the upper floor, and Richard, I can see there's a fireplace being installed here. Anything different in circumstances like this? You're putting in a gas fireplace. Do you need to do anything differently?
No, it's exactly the same as normal. We actually, because when you put in a fireplace, it's very exacting in terms of the millwork and the height and the design elevations. So you have to get the framing perfectly right. But in this case, it was just added to the already existing floor plan. And the wood framers came along and framed it, and then they actually used some LifeTech steel because this is this has to be non-combustible over top of the fire. It's missing the studs right now because we just had to get in there. But this is just standard framing with standard Type X drywall on for non-combustion.
And then I see behind you again, we see water lines, electrical wire conduits running. We have some steel, and then we have the sheathing, the wall sheathing visible. So very simple to work with for our viewers. If you take a look, everything is running as it would conventionally. The water lines are running through, all the stacks are running through. So if you have any questions in regards to these products, obviously the guys from Life Tech are available. You can reach out to them. Their ad shows up during our show a few times, and you can grab the number from there. But let's continue our tour, Richard.
Sure.
I see you've got a deck at the front and the back, but we've got this deck behind us.
Yeah, there's a lot of decks in this house. So we do the living on the upper floor here.
Okay.
And the main floor has the bedrooms.
Okay.
So the kitchen's behind you. This is the living room. That's why we have a gas fireplace. And then these front and back wall-to-ceiling doors.
And is that to take in the view, I presume? I know I'm looking that way. I see the mountains,
it's a
and
nice
I look.
view, and it's just it's kind of neat being up on the upper floor.
Yes, it is.
This is a covered deck that that we're over the bedroom below that we were in just recently.
Okay.
So it's got standard sheeting on that's sloped with the slope joists and torch on, ISO and then torch on. So this is like a flat roof system.
Yeah.
Here.
So again, pretty standard installation materials.
Standard.
You'd still using a Tyvek home wrap. In this area, you're using your standard torch-on membrane, SPS membrane deck outside. Right. And above this, when we got here, I believe you mentioned you do have a hot tub on the upper floor here.
One day there'll be a hot tub there, but I'll show you where it goes. And if you can actually look up here, you can see all of the structure required to capture the hot tub.
Okay.
When we get up there, you'll see that this is the gable face wall above this joist.
Okay.
And the hot tub starts right there and goes that way, and it's over top of the door. And we needed 100 pounds per square foot, which normally the dead load's 40.
Okay.
So the engineer required 100.
Okay.
And so that's how we got there with all these joists.
Okay.
And if you actually look at this, when we get up there, it's all flat roof, and it all slopes away from this area. And if you actually follow these joists, you can actually see them reduced all the way down to 7 inches. So it starts over there at 7 and gets to about 13 inches over here.
Yes, I can see the difference actually. That's very cool. Yeah, so that's all very, very custom to custom design as per your requirements.
Yeah, I want the water to go outside the building. I never want it to come in. And you actually look above. This is torch on above us, and so this becomes conditioned space as if it's a warehouse. So there's no insulating the sprinklers. There's no poly required or anything.
This is where the hot tub will be in the future, I guess. What we were just taking a look downstairs, Richard.
Yes, where I can relax after this complex build. It would be, this is the space where it's going.
Okay.
So this is the wall where the joist was on the outside on that covered deck.
Yes.
And then it's going to be a 6-foot diameter hot tub right in the center of the ridge beam right here.
Okay.
And as you can see, all this roof is made of hand framed of wood.
Okay.
It just made it simpler. There was some details on getting the door in the right spot. So we had to totally do it by hand with wood. Okay. And it made a lot of sense. This is just attic space behind us. And torch on again that were on top of those slope joists.
So you guys, Richard, would decide where wood components would make sense, conventional wood framing or hand framing, and where the steel would be and where it would be most feasible to use it, I guess?
Yeah, so there is some cantilever PSLs here that go out to the outside. Okay. Holding this cantilevered gable roofline. Okay. And so we wanted to have that be a wood product rather than structural steel. Okay. Or even CFS. Okay. Because we didn't want to bring the cold in. Yes. In Vancouver, we're not allowed to use spray foam. Yes. So that could be mitigated with spray foam, but we can't use spray foam. Yeah, yeah. So we're a little bit constrained. Okay. So Richard, I was going to ask you about the exterior insulation, but I'm just taking in this beautiful view behind me, which I presume this will be a deck just for that one unit that we came through? Yeah, for the steel house that's part of the duplex here, this is the roof deck, 280 square feet, and that's why we did the living upstairs, so that we could get to the roof very quickly from the kitchen.
Understood.
And as you can see, this is why we did it.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Getting back into what we were about to look at, so I guess this is at the character home, they're just using a standard rock wool insulation again on the exterior of the wall, and just a standard 3/8 or ½ inch is that rain screen.
Right, exactly. So this is a standard 2x6 wall in Vancouver, which requires the bat on the inside with poly for the vapor barrier, and then on the outside 1.5 inch of semi-rigid rock wool.
Okay.
And then that's just ½ inch strapping. So that's just a standard wall assembly, how we're insulating that wood house.
Okay. And moving forward with the step code changes coming, I guess this system will slowly need to be upgraded, or will this take us into 2032 and into the net zero, you think?
Well, it's going to require thicker and thicker wall assemblies and possibly some other solutions.
Okay.
In this building, actually, we're only putting the rock wool on this south wall. The other 3 walls, we're keeping the sheathing where it ended, and we're insulating on the inside.
Okay.
So we're actually using an EPS system, an expanded polystyrene.
Yep.
So basically polystyrene.
Yep, yep.
2 inches.
Okay.
And then the 2x4 studs, which are the old studs in this building, are bat, and that gives you R22 effective as well.
Okay.
Without adding anything to the outside.
Okay.
So there's all sorts of ways we can get there. Using rock wool is great. Using EPS or polystyrene, polyiso on the outside, you could do that.
So ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਗਰਾਜ 'ਚ ਖੜੇ ਆ ਜੀ, ਇਹਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲੇਨਵੇ ਹੋਮ ਵੀ ਆ, ਤੇ ਸੂਖ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੁਣ ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨ ਕਰੂ ਇਹ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਕੀ ਆ, ਕਿੰਨੀ ਛੇਤੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਸੂਖ ਯੂ ਸੇਇੰਗ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਛੇਤੀ ਆ TGI ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਦੱਸੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿਓ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਓਕੇ। ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੀਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਇੱਥੇ, ਸੋ ਐਸ ਕੰਨ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਸ ਕੰਨ ਤੱਕ ਇਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਇੱਕ ਸਿਸਟਮ। ਆਹ ਰਿਮ ਬੋਰਡ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਐਸ ਰਿਮ ਬੋਰਡ ਤੱਕ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਸੈੱਟ ਬਣਦਾ ਆ।
ਓਕੇ।
ਇੱਕ ਪੀਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਪੂਰਾ ਫਲੋਰ ਸੈੱਟ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਕੰਧਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਰੱਖ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ। ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਮ ਬੋਰਡ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਸਟੱਡ ਹੈਗਾ ਇੱਥੇ TGI ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ, ਜਿਹੜੇ TGI ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਲੱਕੜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਟੀਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਇਹ 1 ਪੀਸ 22 ਫੁੱਟ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ 1 ਮਿੰਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ।
So 1 piece in
1 minute.
1 minute.
Yeah.
So just to recap, ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਆ ਇੱਕ ਏਰੀਏ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਕਸੈਟ ਆ, ਐਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਐਦਾਂ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਟਰੱਕ ਤੇ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਕੰਧਾਂ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ ਖੜੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਫਰੇਮਿੰਗ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਸ਼ੀਦਿੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ, ਇਹਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬਸ ਫੈਸ਼ਨ ਹੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਓਕੇ।
ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਐਸ ਗਰਾਜ ਏਰੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤਾਂ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸੋ ਇਹ ਸਿੱਧੇ ਸਟ੍ਰੇਟ ਪੀਸ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਰੂਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਹੋਊ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਿਖਾ ਲਓਗੇ। ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਆ ਸਾਰਾ ਘਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਲੇਨਵੇ ਹਾਊਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਅਬਾਊਟ 1650 ਸਕੁਅਰ ਫੁੱਟ ਹਾਊਸ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੈਂਬਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਫੈਕਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਫਿਰ ਦੂਜੇ ਦਿਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਛੱਡਤਾ ਸੀ ਸਾਰਾ।
So 1 day in the factory to assemble it all, prepare it, and then you deliver it here, and after that the framing contractor just fasten it together. ਸੂਖ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਧਰਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਆ ਗਏ, ਉਹਦੇ ਗਰਾਜ ਏਰੀਆ ਸੀ, ਆ ਲਿਵਿੰਗ ਸਪੇਸ ਆ, ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਫਰਕ ਆ? ਉਹ ਗਲੀਆਂ ਦਿਸ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਓਕੇ।
ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਪੰਗਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਣਾਉਣੇ ਆ, ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਿੰਗਲ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਘਰ ਬਣਾਉਣੇ ਆ, ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਲੰਬਰ ਜਾਂ ਇਲੈਕਟ੍ਰੀਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਆਪਣੇ TAG ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਲੀ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਇੰਸਪੈਕਟਰ ਨੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਇਹ ਫੇਲ ਆ, ਇਹ ਭਰੋ, ਇਹ ਠੀਕ ਕਰੋ, ਇਹ ਕਰੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ। ਸਾਡੇ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਸੋਰਸ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਪਲੰਬਰ ਲਈ, ਇਲੈਕਟ੍ਰੀਕਲ ਲਈ, HVAC ਲਈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੀ ਪੰਚ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਇਨ ਦ ਫੈਕਟਰੀ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਦੇਣਾ, ਰੈੱਡ ਲਾਈਨ ਕਰ ਦੇਣੀ ਪਲਾਨ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ 4 ਫੁੱਟ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਗਲੀਆਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਆ, ਪਲੰਬਰ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ, 6 ਫੁੱਟ ਨੂੰ ਇਲੈਕਟ੍ਰੀਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ, 8 ਫੁੱਟ ਤੇ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸਪ੍ਰਿੰਕਲਰ ਨੂੰ, ਤੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਵੀ HVAC ਦੀ ਰਿਕੁਆਇਰਮੈਂਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ 6 ਇੰਚ ਦੇ ਹੋਲ ਪ੍ਰੀ ਪੰਚ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਹੋਲਸ ਦੇ ਦੇਣੇ ਆ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਜਾਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈਗਾ 2 ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਇੱਕ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਇੰਸਪੈਕਟਰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰਹੂਗਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਦੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ TGI ਗਲਤ ਆ। ਦੂਜਾ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਡ੍ਰੌਪ ਸੀਲਿੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਨੀ ਹੈਗੀ। ਡ੍ਰੌਪ ਸੀਲਿੰਗ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਸ ਛੱਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਬੈਕ ਫਰੇਮਿੰਗ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਆਰਕੀਟੈਕਚਰਲ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਡ੍ਰੌਪਾਂ ਦਾ, ਉਹ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲ ਆ, ਪਰ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਡ੍ਰੌਪ ਸੀਲਿੰਗ ਪਾਉਣੀ ਪਊਗੀ ਅੱਗੇ।
So Sukh, now we're standing upstairs in the laneway, which has the garage attached to it also. You were showing me this wall as we came up. What can you tell us about it? What's special about it?
Well, this wall is beautiful. We had to meet some architectural challenges, as the architect did not want to change the overall view of this laneway home, just to give it that special character that they wanted to create for this family. So we actually made this wall custom, and it was it's a 1-piece wall from the bottom up.
Okay.
So this is like a 22-foot high wall that was made just like this, and it was. So it just goes to show you any design can be done.
Anything can be achieved. You guys can customize down, pretty much down to MMs is kind of what you're saying.
1/8 tolerance is what we give. And that's the only thing we fall back on is 1/8.
Okay.
Otherwise you won't have no problem.
And Richard, everything else above the wood is all hand framed. Any comments on that from your end?
Yeah, so if you looked at when we shot it from the roof deck just now, you could see that it has no eaves.
Okay.
So that the structure comes right down onto these walls.
Okay.
And so the engineer had to use pretty beefy ridge line and then 2x8s coming down in this case. It was easier to frame this way because we're putting polyiso over this entire house,
Okay.
not just up the sides.
Okay.
It's actually going over the roof as well.
Okay.
So these vaulted ceilings will be conditioned space. There's no venting needed.
Okay.
Yeah, we get to have these beautiful vaulted ceilings right down to 0 eaves.
Okay, no, perfect, guys. Suk and Richard, greatly appreciate the tour. Something different for our viewers to take a look at, how steel can be incorporated in, how it is easier to use and quicker to use. Pricing is getting competitive with conventional wood framing. So any questions in regards to any of that, do not hesitate to reach out to LifeTech Construction Group. You can reach out to Mr. Suk Man at 604-250-6596. And again, their ad is running in our show. We hope you tune into another episode of Construct It next week. Thank you to all our viewers.